The word gamer can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. You've got your bloodthirsty but efficient killing machines.
Party's over.
No, they walled me off.
One enemy remaining.
And it's better.
There's your out-of-control, rage-filled tryhards.
Fun gulag. Game sucks! It does!
The soft-spoken, mechanically gifted psychopaths.
Poggers.
And of course, the clueless noobs who always seem to end up in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh shit! Why you bastard?
But to most people, a gamer is a basement dweller who spends hours each day playing video games, brags about how many virtual scalps they've collected, and has a gaming channel to share their exploits with the world. And in that sense, Michelle Tactical Gramma Statham is a pretty typical gamer. As you might have guessed from her name, she's actually anything but typical.
Oh my god, there's more than one.
Okay, got you,
Two
Adam.
of them can see me.
Down one? I downed the one in the window. Down the one on the roof.
Let's go.
Nice work.
So who the hell is this head-clicking 56-year-old golden girl? How did she turn her passion for one of gaming's most notoriously unfriendly franchises into a growing TikTok empire? And how does she consistently destroy Zoomers despite being like 3 times their age?
I just sniped this guy so hard.
Alright guys, before we dive into this nutty ass Nana's story, I'm gonna ask that you please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because, I mean, do you really want to miss any more offbeats about these bloodthirsty boomers? I didn't think so. Okay, so just to hammer the point home, Tactical Gramma is the literal definition of a gamer. She lives in a basement, although it's her kids and not her parents, and it's not exactly the basement you're probably picturing.
Technically, it's not a basement. We just like to say that. It's a split level house. So like the stairs go up and you go either up or down. So we are the bottom floor. We just put a basement in down. We put a kitchen in down here. So we have our own kitchen, our own little living room, and 2 little rooms down here, but yeah.
Her Call of Duty clips can be found on practically every media platform that exists. And just like the proper grandmother that she is, she'll give you a forehead kiss goodnight before she puts you to sleep forever.
Isn't nowhere here. Later. Oh, that's not you. Oh my gosh. I thought you were next to me. I'm like running next to this guy and I thought it was you.
So how exactly did a sweet grandmother of 2 turn into one of Warzone's deadliest snipers? Well, the seeds of Grandma's eventual streaming career were planted back in the 1970s with the Atari 2600, where she spent countless hours playing classic games like Pong and Crackpots with her family. Fast forward a couple of decades, and Gramma found herself married with kids. But gaming wasn't a pastime that she'd left with her childhood. No, Gramma continued to use it as both a competitive outlet and a bonding activity.
When we had kids, we had Nintendo. So we played all the Nintendo games, Mario, Super Mario, Mario Party, a lot of sports games. Oh yeah, my family's so competitive. Growing up, we were competitive. I played competitive soccer my whole life.
Gramma and her husband also turned games into an opportunity to spend quality time together. When the kids went to bed, out came the controllers. That's fucking couple goals.
My husband plays. This is what we did. This was our date nights when our kids were little. We couldn't afford to go anywhere, so we would just play video games. This is what we did.
But as the years went by, Gramma found herself grappling with increasing pain caused by arthritis in her thumbs, and it became so bad that she had to hang up her controller for good.
It probably like it slowly started probably about 10 years ago. So, but I would keep playing and just play through the pain, but it just got too bad. Like it's like this joint there. So like if you move your, even just that motion hurt. So like controller just wasn't going to work anymore. So I had to switch away.
But as they say, when one door closes, another is bound to open. And so Grandma's family suggested that she give PC gaming a try instead. Now, learning to use a mouse and keyboard after a lifetime of using a controller is no easy feat. Just ask half the kids in my Siege lobbies. But despite her initial reservations, Grandma threw herself headfirst into the challenge.
I was really nervous and really kind of afraid to do it, but I think what I started on was Fortnite, like the rumble mode in Fortnite, because you just keep coming back, and who cares if you don't have teammates that care if you die, really, because everybody's just trying to just play and shoot. So I did a lot of Fortnite rumble, just trying to figure out the keys.
As Grandma became more comfortable with her new gaming setup, she found herself drawn to streamers like Tim the Tatman and Sigma. And it was around that time that her family suggested that she give streaming a shot.
In the beginning, I never even wanted to watch people play video games. I thought it was stupid to watch people play video games. But then it came up on my feed on Facebook and I started watching people. And so they knew I was watching people. And then both my husband and son, they were like, you should stream. And I'm like, but no one's going to want to watch someone my age play. And I'm not that great. And they're like, well, you don't have anything to worry about if no one's going to watch. You might as well do it.
But Grandma decided that if she was going to stream, she wasn't going to do it playing cutesy games designed for filthy casuals. No, Grandma wanted to get a bit sweaty and click some faces. So, like many of the streamers she followed, Grandma set her sights on first-person shooters like Apex and Escape from Tarkov. And to her surprise, there were people interested enough in following her adventures.
Did you get her?
No, but I'm like dying. You just killed me.
Now, initially, Grandma divided her time between streaming and watching her grandkids. But once the COVID-19 pandemic hit North America in early 2020, Grandma found herself with enough free time to fully commit to streaming.
We couldn't go anywhere. So what else was I going to do? So it kind of was like, well, we're not going anywhere. I would stream for like 4 hours, take a break, hang out with the grandbabies. And my youngest lived in Hawaii, but she was quarantined here with us at home. She came home. She's like, if I'm going to be stuck, she could work remotely. So she was here. So I'd spend time with all them and then stream again in the evening for 4 hours.
And while Grandma was certainly having fun braining people in games like Apex, it was in March that she was introduced to what would soon become her primary hunting ground. One that she wasn't totally unfamiliar with.
The first Call of Duty came out, we got it, and we started playing it in we've gotten every Call of Duty since they've come out and played. And that was our date nights. My husband and I, we used to live in the country and had no internet. So some friends of ours would let us use their office. So we'd pack up, we had 2 Xboxes, 2 portable little TVs. We'd go pack up, go to their office and go online and play. So I've just always played Call of Duty. So it's been one of my favorite games to play. That's why I still love it. I know a lot of people get tired of it, but I still love it. Got him? Inside.
Inside where?
Yes.
Wahlburger?
I don't know. Nice.
But no matter how experienced she was at COD, juggling both the game and chat definitely took some getting used to.
Just wanted to say that every time you come up on my FYP page, brighten your day. Let's go. You guys didn't see that, did you?
Occasional mishaps aside, though, Grandma's viewers quickly began to take notice of the fact that no matter how she felt about her own skills, her aim was way better than just average.
The team on our left, like this way.
But it was when her husband began uploading her highlights to TikTok that Tactical Grandma really began to catch the attention of Zoomers everywhere.
That man got stuck on the wall.
Down the one on train? Oh
Nice. Sorry, this guy had dead silence.
my gosh. Downed him? The one that got her?
I don't know.
Oh, he's down. Oh my gosh. One to the left.
Oh, she got him.
One to the left.
Grandma!
Grandma!
As her popularity on TikTok continued to explode, it wasn't long before this frag-hungry Nana started making waves on other platforms.
Tactical Gramma.
I only know a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Apparently she's a really good Call of Duty player and she's very old.
Well, she's 58, I mean.
Okay, well, yeah.
Now, as is always the case with anyone who makes it big clapping cheeks for a living, not everyone that tunes into your stream is going to be there to support you. And being that this head-clicking queen is actually a 56-year-old grandmother of 2, it is simply incomprehensible to certain mouth-breathing naysayers that she's, well, better than they are.
I just had it on a comment yesterday. It's like, oh, you can see in the reflection that someone else is holding the controller and playing. I'm like, for one, I'm on mouse and keyboard, and I don't know what you're talking about, but I get that all the time. There's not me playing. And they're like, it's your grandson playing. And I'm like, he's a prodigy then because he's 1, but okay. And I think that females get that anyways, but then you add my age on top of it, it's a little more. Just, you get people that come in and that or go make me a sandwich or make me cookies. The whole.
But to her credit, Gramma doesn't let the occasional hater take away from her enjoyment of going live 8 hours a day. A routine that involves her not only decimating her opponents, but just about every single granny stereotype out there.
He's still up there. I can see his gun sticking out.
Thank you.
There's still one up there.
But for Gramma, it's not just about silencing her critics, laughing in the face of stereotypes, or fondly reminiscing over her every glorious frag. No, instead, she's relishing every opportunity she's had to build a positive community that encourages people to connect with each other over their love of video games.
Like, I started streaming on a whim kind of thing because they told me to, but really why I continue to do it is the community. I tried to create a place that's super welcoming, super encouraging, super we're just there to support each other, especially through the pandemic. It's been a really tough time for a lot of people. So we've just created a place where people can come in, hang out, share kind of what's going on in their life, and we're just kind of there for each other.
And while there's no question that Gramma has personally benefited from her newfound clout and the community she's built, she's also using her platform to help raise money for worthy causes like St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Truthfully, watching anyone be good at a game you enjoy is entertainment enough. But watching someone who, by all definitions, shouldn't be able to do, or even be interested in doing what Gramma does at her age, is impressive as hell. As an older than average streamer, Gramma is part of a growing movement to normalize the fact that older people can and do play video games, and can even become good enough to turn their digital adventures into a viable career.
My family's super supportive, but everybody else outside of it kind of looks at me like, you play video games for a living and people pay you? I'm like, I know, it's weird, right?
And sure, not all of the older gamers out there are going to be insane at shooters, but that's perfectly okay. At the end of the day, no matter what game Gramma or any of her fellow seniors choose to enjoy, they are ushering in a reality that'll benefit all of us in the long run. One where a video game savvy grandparent isn't viewed as some freakish novelty, but a simple fact of life.
Almost wanted it.
Yeah. Oh! What the heck? No way. I don't know how I got that, but I downed him. Holy moly. He's gonna think I'm cheating.
Dude, you should hear these kids, man, when I fucking play, sheesh! You should hear this shit, dude. It's crazy. Yo? And last night we were attacking on a round, and I just, literally 2 rounds in a row, I just fucking, back-to-back 3Ks. And you should hear these kids and Ryan and his friends at the comms, man. It's so funny. Dude, he's 28. He's a fucking fossil. And, he's got sick aim. Holy shit. He's destroying kids.